What up, One Piece fans? You're now in tune to another session of Ponder and Win. I'm the East Wind, and in today's session, I want to talk about a battle between two characters that has been almost theorized to death. And I want to put the battle in perspective. And basically, it is a theoretical battle between Fujitora and Akainu. A lot of people make the statement that because Akainu is Fleet Admiral, that he will destroy Fujitora. And they use these, I never was one to use these terms, but mid difficulty, high difficulty, low difficulty, none of that applies. Just because Akainu is Fleet Admiral doesn't mean anything. It's irrelevant. It only applies, his rank only applies within the world government. So, for example, Fujitora has to answer to Akainu in terms of his actions, like what he did at Dressrosa. They had a little conversation or whatever, but Akainu didn't flip out on Fujitora like he probably would have, like if it was Kobe or something like that, because Akainu knows that Fujitora would destroy him, basically. I'll get into that in a minute. So the rank doesn't mean anything. A lot of people try to go back and say Sengoku was able to hold Garp down. Sengoku was Fleet Admiral, so that made it possible for him to hold Garp down. What a lot of people don't realize about that specific moment is that Garp allowed, let me repeat that, allowed Sengoku to hold him there. If Garp really wanted to, he could have got Sengoku off of him with ease, guaranteed. Garp was one, for Gold Roger's era, Garp was one of 3 top tier characters for that era. Sengoku's not mentioned at all. Garp was the one that cornered Roger to basically a stalemate. So you had Gold Roger, Garp, and Whitebeard. So in Luffy's era, nothing has changed. Garp would still be at the top of Luffy's era, along with Whitebeard, what we saw Whitebeard do at Marineford. That aside, let's get down to business. Fujitora versus Akainu. In One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, I can do a mock battle. You can do a mock battle if you have the game. Just pick Fujitora and go and defeat Akainu, and a special dialogue will appear where Fujitora states that I knew even at your best, or even at your best, Akainu, you can't defeat me. And there's a lot of special hidden dialogues in Pirate Warriors 3 like that. You know, just for us the fans. I guess you could call it fan service, but I'm about to break down why what that special dialogue states is true. In the War of the Best, Akainu was bested by a sick Whitebeard. And everybody always says it, I say it myself. If Whitebeard was in his prime, there would be no Akainu now. So a sick Whitebeard in his prime was able to dominate Akainu. And one could argue that Whitebeard has more experience or mastery of his devil fruit. And in comparison, Fujitora is basically a reincarnation of Whitebeard. Oda has applied the power to the world government this time. He gave it to the pirates with Whitebeard, and usually the power that Whitebeard possessed and the Tremor fruit, or with the Tremor fruit, would have been given to a villain. So I actually applaud Oda for allowing somebody like Whitebeard to have the power first. But ultimately, he did shift it to Blackbeard. So he ended up doing a cliche after though. Fujitora's Paramecia is the equivalent of Whitebeard's Tremor fruit, the power of gravity. It's obvious that Fujitora has armament hockey. So Akainu's Logia ability is basically null and void. What it comes down to is sheer power between the two. And from what Fujitora demonstrated, even though Flamingo was like, I heard you're a monster power-wise, and Fujitora demonstrated that at Little Bit. When have you ever seen that type of destruction, aside from what Whitebeard did with the Tremor fruit? There is no contest. Fujitora supersedes Akainu in every way. If Fujitora was in the world government prior to the War of the Best, it definitely would have been a battle for Fleet Admiral between Akainu and Fujitora. My man Aokiji, he wouldn't have stood a chance. Like, against Fujitora, for Akainu and Aokiji, it was pretty much a level playing field. Fujitora outclasses all three of the admirals, or would have outclassed all three of the admirals at that time. So Fujitora would have won and he would be Fleet Admiral right now. So no, you know, it's the same. Like I said, Garp could have easily beat Sengoku. He literally smacked Marco in Phoenix form with the Fist of Love like it was nothing. And Marco is definitely one of the top tier characters for Luffy's era. That's how I've broken down One Piece. You had Gold Roger's era, and now you have Luffy's era. And Marco is definitely one of the top tier characters before Luffy's era. And for Garp to smack him down without even trying, basically, is a feat in of itself. Even Whitebeard acknowledges Garp when he gets there. He said he calls Garp by name. Everybody else he calls brats. So that tells you right there. If Whitebeard states your name, he acknowledges that you are a powerful character. The same way he does on Pirate Warriors 3. You can't select your partner character like you could for Pirate Warriors 2, but if you're able to come across a Garp and Whitebeard team, you will notice that Whitebeard states Garp's name and Garp states Whitebeard's name. It's not overly complex. It's just a simple analysis of the two powers, the two Devil Fruit powers, and then cataloging the history. So, like I said, a sickened Whitebeard with a Paramecia of the Tremor fruit was able to dominate Akainu. Here you have Fujitora with a Paramecia Devil Fruit that is on par with the Tremor fruit. I would actually say that now I used to predict that Marco would be the one to beat Blackbeard, but now I'm gonna say it might actually be Fujitora because he has a Paramecia fruit that, like I said, is on par with the Tremor fruit. It would have been actually nice to see a battle between Whitebeard and Fujitora. I still got Whitebeard winning, but it would have been a super crazy battle. But yeah, man, I can't put it any other way. Fujitora would win, no problem. Like I said, the dialogue says it all. Even at your best, you can't beat me. Or even at your best, I knew I could beat you. Either way. So with that being said, As always, thanks for listening. Peace.